the first. Be farther and faster. Become a ghost. Make your point. Fear the shadows.
There seems to be an ongoing race for innovation and new technology among the world's larger nations. It is known that the United States, China, and Russia have been competing for economic superiority, leadership in space exploration, and perhaps most critically, military dominance. The Air Force of any country is a big contributor to their capability to win battles and conflict situations. Therefore, it is not surprising that a lot of dollars are being pumped into the research and development of aircraft since the First World War. To date, we see fifth-generation fighters being built, representing the peak of technology in military aircraft. And as it stands, the United States is currently leading with its F-22 and F-35 fifth-generation fighter jets. However, it has unveiled a new Sukhoi fifth-generation fighter jet at its annual MAKS Air Show in 2021, which is designed to compete with the US F-35 and can travel twice the speed of sound and striking 6 targets simultaneously. In this video, we'll be taking a close look at all there is to know about this new Russian aircraft that has been causing a lot of buzz on the internet. So, do stay tuned. Dubbed the Checkmate, Russia's new fighter is a single-engine, light to medium-weight design, developed by the Sukhoi Designer Bureau and first unveiled at the MAKS 2021 International Aviation and Space Salon in Moscow region in July. The fighter jet was unveiled by Russia and the United Aerospace Company, an umbrella corporation that includes the famed Miko Yangerevich, or MiG, and Sukhoi design bureaus. Russian aircraft maker Sukhoi developed the new fighter under the LTS program, a Russian acronym for Light Tactical Aircraft. Its maker said that the prototype is set to make its maiden flight in 2023 and deliveries could start in 2026. The fighter jet is unique in more ways than one, and Russia is crazy excited about it. What's most intriguing is that there has not been a new single-engine Russian fighter built since the Cold War. The country has been lukewarm about procuring any new aircraft in this class. While the motive for this shift in preference is unclear, there are several speculations as to why this is so. First is the idea that the new fighter is being aimed squarely at the export market, perhaps as a low observable, high-tech successor to the MiG-35 family, the latest expression of the Cold War era MiG-29. This idea is encouraged by the impression that's been given by the PR campaign so far, which has included an English-language teaser on Twitter and a video that features Air Force pilots from the United Arab Emirates, India, Vietnam, and Argentina. This certainly points to this plane's being primarily an export offering. Any one of these countries may be more receptive to buying a single-engine jet than the Russian military, especially if the offer is low and the observable fighter provides some of the technologies developed for its existing twin-engine, heavyweight aircraft, but with proportionally lower price and sustainment cost, like in the Su-57. So far, efforts to sell the Su-57 to foreign air forces have failed, including most spectacularly to India. The choice of this single engine was confirmed by the multitude of leaked photos that surfaced on Twitter. You're probably wondering, why is having one fewer engine on an aircraft so exciting? Yeah, we're going to talk about it. The debate on single engine versus twin engine aircraft have been relatively more intense in the case of combat aircraft in modern times. Firstly, compared to a twin engine combat platform, a single-engine fighter is of lower weight and has a better thrust-to-weight ratio, providing superiority and maneuverability. Also, the single-engine fighter has a combat radius that can be enhanced through in-flight refueling if operationally feasible. And, more importantly, the twin-engine platform is decidedly more expensive, primarily on account of the second engine, its larger size, the possible duplication of engine-driven systems, and a greater number of weapon stations. However, this does not cover all of the insane features that the Checkmate has to offer. The design of the Su-57 features a diverter's inlet, a V-shaped tail, and internal weapon bays that are all features intended to reduce its radar signature. The internal weapon bays will carry 5 missiles and an autocannon. Its vast wing area implies that the Sukhoi designed the fighter to fly and engage in combat at impressively high altitudes, 40,000 feet or higher. And according to the jet designers, the Checkmate is designed to fly with a range of up to 3,000 kilometers, can carry a payload of up to 7,400 kilograms, and reach speeds of up to Mach 1.8 or even maybe Mach 2. The main power plant of this aircraft appears to be the Saturn Isadelier 30 engine. The Isadelier 30 is designed to be 30% lower in specific weight and up to 18% more effective. It has a dry thrust of 107.9 kilonewtons and an afterburner thrust of 171.7 kilonewtons. This engine is also expected to have a longer lifespan than other Russian engines. The fuselage seems to adopt the blended wing-body configuration found across most new generation fighter types. A prominent chine runs along the centerline, and perhaps the incorporation of prominent leading-edge vortex controllers, or levcons, as found on the Su-57. These moving surfaces serve to increase lift and maneuverability at low speeds, and on the Su-57 reportedly also boost maneuverability at supersonic and hypersonic speeds. The outward canted tail fins are prominent, but there is no sign, as of yet, of horizontal tail surfaces or canard foreplanes. In the general configuration, aircraft may have similarities to some of the Joint Advanced Strike technologies that preceded the Joint Strike Fighter program, as well as development initiatives like the subsonic high alpha research concept, which was evaluated by NASA in the 1990s. The landing gear on the new fighter appears very realistic, providing this is indeed a mock-up, with the obvious shock-absorbing oleo struts. It also looks notably robust, but not much can be read about this. For some generations now, Russian land-based fighters have been provided with heavy-duty landing gear to allow operations from poorly prepared surfaces. The complexity of the gear in this prototype is either a rather elaborate mock-up or something even further along, developmentally speaking. Due to restrictions preventing taking cockpit photos, we don't have any pictures of what the cockpit of the craft looks like. However, NBC News' Matt Bodner, the first Western journalist able to see the jet in person, provided a preview without a point-of-view photo. So we can pretty much paint a mental picture, but we can't tell if it's an accurate depiction. According to Bodner, the cockpit layout is identical to the Su-57 in that it has a glass cockpit. The cockpit features two 15-inch main multifunctional LCDs, similar to the arrangement of the Su-35S. The cockpit also has a wide-angle heads-up display, reportedly 300 by 220. The electronic infrastructure of the Checkmate is all open architecture and makes use of what's known as a Matryoshka diagnostic system that are mostly on board. According to Deputy Prime Minister Yuri Borisov, the Checkmate fighter jet will share the same components and avionics as the Su-57, a cost reduction mechanism by the Sukhoi Design Bureau. The chief executive of Rostec, the parent company of Sukhoi Designs, said in an interview with the Wall Street Journal that the Su-75 fighter will carry air-to-air and air-to-surface armaments of over 7 tons, which will enable it to strike several targets at a time. It's really quite an efficient and deadly jet for a lightweight. There are also reports that there is an unmanned variant in development, opening up the possibility that one-man Checkmate might control several unmanned versions. A 2-seat trainer version can be developed if requested, and a carrier-based version is also under consideration. Then there's the Checkmate's claimed unit price of $25 to $30 million. That's less than half the flyaway cost of an F-35, which currently costs about $78 million. When asked about the price, Yuri Slyusar, the head of the United Aircraft Corporation, said our aim is to make the cost per flight hour as low as possible, to make it economical not only to buy but also to operate. The UA says the first Checkmate will fly in 2023, and actual deliveries of combat-ready airplanes will commence in 2026 or 2027. Russia plans to produce 300 aircraft over the next 15 years once serial production begins. They expect a demand from nations in the Middle East, Asia, the Pacific region, and Latin America. They are not the first country to have impressive 5th-generation fighter jets on the market, so achieving these planes won't be such a walk in the park. The United States, for one, must have been used to having the only 5th-generation fighters in the world. China's Chengdu J-20, dubbed the Mighty Dragon, has been said to the most suited for penetrating enemy air defenses and damaging critical infrastructure on the ground. So how does Russia's new single-engine Checkmate compare to the F-22 Raptor, the F-35 Lightning, and the Chengdu J-20, and a host of other concept 5th-gen jets currently in the works? The F-22 Raptor was created by Lockheed Martin, the company credited with the most of the airframe and weapon systems in the US military arsenal, in partnership with Boeing, who supplied the wings, avionics integration, aft fuselage, and training systems. It's a pretty impressive jet that was way ahead of its time, and the F-35-2 Lightning followed that same pattern and launched with technology so advanced it might as well be chucked up to the 6th-generation fighter. The J-20 has a top speed of Mach 2.5 and a range of 3,400 miles with 2 external fuel tanks. As expected, it features China's most advanced stealth tech armament and avionics. The J-20 is an impressive aircraft and definitely one for the US, Russia, and the rest of the world to keep an eye on. The United States, Russia, and China are at the forefront of aviation development, and they've been there for the longest. However, there's never-ending battle for who holds the top spot amongst these three countries. Without a shred of doubt, if all goes according to plan, the checkmate will be the best single-engine jet in the world, and Russia's entry into the 5th-generation fighter space. It'll be a symbol of developmental capacity of the country. What do you think of Russia's new single-engine jet fighter? Will it be able to hold its own against, say, an F-35 in battle? Will the United States have to watch its back? Let us know in the comments section down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.